Hello and welcome to Jim Games 2, my second channel. You may recognize me from my main channel. I've done a bunch of different Pakistani reactions, probably about 50 or 60 at this point. But unfortunately that channel looks like it might be getting deleted, so I kind of need to start over. And I understand my momentum is going to slow down a little bit. So I'm hoping before we start today's video, you guys will all do me one favor. And that's just kind of scroll down a little bit and see if you're already subscribed. Because you may have subscribed to my main channel, but you may not have subscribed here to my second channel. And this might be my main channel going forward if my main channel does get deleted, which is kind of out of my hands. But let's talk about today's video. Let's talk about what we're here to talk about here today, and that is the song Pasoori. Now, I've heard the song for the first time, reacting to it maybe 3 or 4 months ago, but apparently there's also a remix as well. Now, on the track list here of artists, obviously there is Sethi, who's one of the main vocalists of this track, but then there's also a couple people that I don't recognize, Marwan, Moussa, and Reekado Banks. Yeah, so we're gonna check them out in just a second here, but let me read this description. Apparently it's gonna have some sort of trap Afrobeat inspiration, and yeah, it's just some kind of remix. I don't know, might be good, might be bad. If it's bad, I probably just won't upload it, but if it's good, maybe I will. So let's just pull this screen up over here, and let's get right on into this, shall we? Here we go. Generally, I don't really like remixes, or they have to be done in like a creative or interesting way.
From where I did look.
All right, that was Ollie.
The journey will only me one pass. For the journey I no get to compass. Within my eyes it only me know. Come make I tell you what in my don't see. So many people waiting they despise me. So many snakes with these guys that's my G's. They been don't know say I already know.
I love his tone, I love his scatting. I'm assuming we're moving on to the next artist. That must have been Marwan Moussa. Yeah, I loved his tone, loved his style. His delivery was really nice too. He has a very cool, chill vibe to him. Oh, he's still going. Okay, so I'm already kind of eating my words with this because I feel like this is less of a remix and more of a reimagination of a song here. Some of the same tonal values are here and some of the same progressions vocally are similar, but the delivery is completely different. The sound design is similar but completely different. It's all been rewritten and everything. This isn't just like cutting different parts out and, you know, dropping the bass or doing whatever like you might hear in a techno or a dance remix. This does truly feel like a real reimagination, which I do appreciate. All right, so I think we're gonna move on to the next guy here. I'm assuming that's where this next verse is going, with Reekado Banks.
شطة فيها سنة سكر شكرا مستني ترجيلي على بكرة قسطة لا مش هتحبس جوه الأوبرا دلوقتي اسمي بقى عملة الطاقة عندي عالية دماغي قلق حامية ايه والفريق في حتة تانية داخل باب بتاعتي قولي علي الفوليوم.
Is that Ollie back there? I'm hearing Ollie back there in the main mix here. I just love this dude's vocals. Whenever I hear it, my ears just naturally drawn to it. Not to take anything away from who I believe is Reekado. But I don't know, Ollie just adds something to the jam. It's a little bit different, Although I do appreciate this guy's presence. I like the resonance on his voice and the bit of rasp we're getting from him compared to the first guy, who I think is Marwan. You know, he had more of a kind of a smooth, rounded voice, whereas this guy seems to be a little bit on the sharper, raspier side, which is okay. It adds a different level of excitement to it. You know, it seems to progress the song without being kind of the same thing going through. But just adding a touch of Ollie there in the background, just kind of popping off, you know, 2/3 of the mix way up. I'm sorry, like 1/3 of the mix the way up there. I feel like kind of keeps the original version alive a little bit, or bleeds some soul into it, while adding something completely different. Yeah, this truly does feel like a reimagination. All right.
سنة شطة فيها سنة سكر شكرا مستني ترجيلي على بكرة قسطة لا مش هتحبس جوه الاوبرا دلوقتي اسمي بقى عملة الطاقة عندي عالية دماغي آلة حامية ايه الفريق في حتة تانية داخل الباب بتاعتي قولي علي الفوليوم هنولع طول الصيف يا برو من بعد يونيو موت على البحر بيروح في العالي سكوت هنسى
No.
يوبي عالقابي وده رأس في مالي
No.
مش هنادي معانا خطة ماضي في نادي أنا في رحلة الماضي في بالي جايب عدة ظابط حالي فاتح سكة لابس تاجي.
Okay, obviously we got some modulations here happening with the vocals. At first it was clean, it was raspy, you know, it had some great resonance to it. But now we're mixing multiple different layers and also a vocoder in there as well. The end of his phrasing has a vocoder on it, which just makes his voice sound elastic in some kind of ways, I guess you could say. Which I guess kind of ties together with the dreamscape or soundscape that we're hearing. Which is also put together in a pretty unique way here as well, whereas the original is using, you know, sounds like, you know, the mandolin and also the xylophone for like those bright chimey tones. And on this one, it seems to be more of like a music box kind of soundscape to it. So I understand like why he's kind of doing it. It's just like everything else is so electronic and so modulated in a way that I kind of almost, my ear is drawn towards more natural sounds that don't really have too much added to it. But both singers so far have added some sort of modulation or layering techniques on their voice, which is great for this song, but it's not something I'm normally drawn to, but it is definitely worth noting. But at the same time, too, I think both these guys, too, can hold their own and have very unique and expressive voices. But, you know, it's just kind of a shame to see these effects on it. But hey, that's the style, you know, that's the, you know, the trap and whatnot and the style of this genre. So I guess I can't give too much criticism towards that. Yeah, you see what it is here is you got Marwan Moussa here. He's using like effects too, and it's also towards the end of his phrasing as well, but he's using effects that are more like naturally digestible, you know, less of a vocoder or any kind of voice change or pitch bend or modulation, and more just natural things like reverb and delay and stuff like that, and then just kind of layering it on top of it just to make this feel a little bit more like a soundscape, you know, like adding some just some soundscapes to the mix, even though the music is very dreamy. It's just more of a natural approach to it. But I guess like, you know, the dichotomy of both of these things, the more harsh, raspy resonance from the other guy and then him, adds like a smooth kind of thing. I don't know, like a rough and smooth kind of thing. I love this scat part here too. Oh yeah, he's fantastic. And then Ollie just slides in the mix and basically kind of shows him who's boss. No, I don't mean to be disrespectful anyway. I'm just saying Ollie slides in the mix and kind of encompasses the best of both of these vocalists just all in one, and that's just honestly him. He's one hell of a vocal talent here. Ollie is able to, you know, have beautiful, clean, wide, round bass sounds, but at the same time being pitch perfect and having those highs that kind of just bleed through and are clean with such control. It's really impressive just to hear, and I think he's kind of like encompassing the best of both of these singers and just do his own thing, which is also kind of a credit to him because he's essentially doing what he did in, you know, his main song here, but I think it might be slowed down just at like a half a step or something, so he is putting his own little spin on it, but that's very nice to hear. And I love the ending of like his phrasing. Again, we're talking about vocal modulations and effects and whatnot. And for the most part, Ollie is 100% clean besides the ending of his phrasing having, you know, almost like what's known as slapback, like a slapback effect, which is just at the end of what you say, you know, you have like this splash of reverb or decay or something. And it just adds to the dreamy atmospheric nature here. But what's cool about what Ollie's doing here is he's kind of he's embracing what both of the other singers have been doing, Mr. Marwan and Reekado, by you know, layering their voices and just having like these more abrasive tonal effects on them. And he's kind of doing the same thing, but he's not really using abrasive effects. He's actually just singing in different keys. He's doing a whisper and a lower version, and then I think on the lower, like the bass version, he's putting a little bit of a reverb as well, just to again add to that soundscape. You can really hear it towards the end of his phrasing. The last thing he says, I'm gonna shut up completely and just let you guys listen to it. But just wait for the last thing he says, and you'll hear all those effects kind of coming to life. Oh my God, a master class in vocal talent here, man. Talk about the control. Talk about great use of frequency and effects. Yeah, dude, this is more of a reimagination. Let me just take this back here, and I'm gonna do one of these. I'm gonna kill this screen here. Sorry, I swear I've done this before. We're gonna talk about that. Yeah, so less of a remix and more of a complete reimagination. Honestly, this was beautiful through and through. And as I mentioned a bit in the beginning of this video, I tend not to be a fan of remixes for the most part, because a lot of times I just use the same exact tracks and they'll just add, a deeper bass or a faster drum beat or something. And it's just, I don't know. I don't really find it, unless there's something really to sink my teeth into musically or in some kind of sound design way or something. I tend to stay away from remixes, but Coke Studio once again impresses me. They impress me with their writing skills, their sound design, and honestly just a bit of everything. But yeah, this was beautiful through and through. I honestly really enjoyed this. I enjoy the artistic integrity of this. Hearing like this Afro trap mix, I guess you call it Afro trap mix, that's what they call it. I'm not 100% too familiar with this genre. Afrobeats, I'm sorry. It's an Afrobeats trap mix here. It was beautiful. It was cool how they, paid homage to the original here with some of the same phrasings. And then as far as like the sound design, the soundscape of this whole thing, it's cool that they used more of a music box type of sound in replace of like those like really nice touches of mandolin and xylophone, which is where we get those brighter tones from here. It's making this just seem a lot more dreamy in its, its entirety. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe Coke Studio has some more of these remixes. I'm kind of going through all the stuff that I've missed from different seasons that I've already covered already, and just really trying to sink my teeth into them and have a better understanding of these people as artists and these people, what they're trying to express, what they're really, really trying to say. So I think I'm going to do the magical journey next. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed hanging out for a little bit, and I'm going to see you all real soon in the next video. Again, if you haven't already, scroll down, make sure you've subscribed to this channel, because we're going to be doing a lot more Pakistani music over here. So if you want to see that and hang out for a bit, it's a place to do it. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful night, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.